Peace and richest blessings, everyone. Let's all get out of our seats for the end of empire and the future of freedom. Hands together. Blessings in abundance. I'm so grateful to be sharing this space and this divine energy with you all. My name is Lavish. I'm from Minneapolis. I grew up a couple blocks away from George Floyd Square, and like so many other people, when George's life was taken, I activated. I have a pretty revolutionary family, but I wasn't even really aware of it until that happened. And it's really all of our responsibility. And right now, just by being here, you're fulfilling that in a certain way. I'd like to start off by telling you tonight's event is going to be flipped upside down. We're going to start off with the vibrations. We're going to start off with the music. A couple different artists that are going to just bless us, serenade us if you'd like to. And then we're going to listen, and we're going to be so just filled with abundant, radiant gratitude for Dr. Butch Ware. Can we give it up for Dr. Butch Ware real quick? We are all here for this brother who is coming out right now, this anti-imperialist, this anti-capitalist, this revolutionary brother. He's coming here to bless us. Before he gets on, if your friends aren't here, get on the YouTube live stream. It's Butch Ware. Brother, bless us, please, and thank you. Blessings.
Assalamu alaikum, shalom aleichem, peace and blessings, peace and power. I'm going to be brief in these opening remarks, and I wanted to first express gratitude to my young brother from another mother, Lavish, for stepping in to serve as the MC this evening. Yes, give him a round of applause. It's not going to be long before Lavish is one of those one-word names, like Madonna and Prince, because that brother has an ebullient personality, abundant knowledge, and most of all, like a beautiful heart and a gorgeous head of hair. I mean, let's just, and as somebody who's known, for doing things with my hair, I've been accused of having a jerry curl. It is not a jerry curl, it's natural, and so anyway, I'm infinitely jealous of Brother Lavish's hair, but I digress. End of empire, future of freedom. This has been an incredible weekend, and many of you have been here for every single part of it, from Chris Hedges' opening keynote, which is now up to, I believe, 12 or 13,000 views on the YouTube channel, a YouTube channel that I opened the day before yesterday. I'm not joking. So people are responding, and greetings to all of you out there in the virtual space that are following the live stream. A quick round of applause for Tom Piazzett and Home Planet Productions, who have been shooting this whole weekend. Dealing with the ultimate chaos agent, Professor Ware, as the guide, which means the program gets flipped and turned inside out on a moment's notice, and they've been incredibly professional and accommodating and beautiful in character and spirit. Yesterday, raise your hand if you were here yesterday. Yeah. Anybody ever been through a day like that? Because I hadn't. I mean, I had my consciousness opened and my heart opened in every single session. I saw revolutionary solidarities and possibilities for futures of freedom that literally hours before seemed like they had been foreclosed upon 5 centuries ago. And so we entered then into today. Incredibly powerful artist panel with Shila Ray, Sunshine, who you will hear from momentarily, with our good friend Anwar Hadid, who had meant to say a few words in this gathering, and his manager pulled him out, reminding him that they actually have a video shoot for his band Oswald, so he was unable to stay. He sends his greetings and solidarity. Then we heard from Claudia de la Cruz. Give it up for Claudia. Because Sister Girl came in teaching. She came in teaching. And when we talk about the future of radical, politics, It is that kind of solidarity, people that may come from different backgrounds, different traditions, different political parties, but are about liberation, and we need to be standing shoulder to shoulder, otherwise the storm that is coming is going to flatten us all. So this has been work, but it has been uplifting work, not just ushering in the end of empire, but serving as doulas, giving birth to a future of freedom. And indeed, that future is being birthed in these kinds of gatherings. Take this energy, take this love, take this compassion, take this knowledge, take this connectedness into your own spaces. Spread this love, spread this light. Heal with your traditions, your ancestral traditions, your learned traditions, and then be an instrument for healing others. We talked in the artist panel about the importance of culture. And we had initially intended to have the incredible Lauren Haregi, formerly of Fifth Harmony, brilliant solo artist, Latin artist, pop artist, and she was unfortunately required for contractual reasons to pull out shortly before the performance, and Lauren sends her greetings to everybody and her regrets. And we are in love with her work and stand in deep solidarity with her. But Dr. Jill is also doing a media appearance right now, so we flipped the show on its head, and we're going to have the cultural and the artistic lead in to our keynote speaker, Dr. Jill Stein. And the only thing that I'll say about that is that everything that we have been building towards over this weekend that we have shared together. Yes, there's going to be a culmination and artistic expression in this moment. Yes, we are going to hear inspiring words and marching orders, and we are going to hear from a keynote speaker that has intelligence and integrity and moral clarity and compassion and insight. But this is not entertainment. This is where we fuel ourselves, where we recharge ourselves to go out and do the work in the world. One of my teachers, and I'll end on this, in West Africa, told me that everything that the child of Adam gives away, they are decreased in that thing, except for knowledge and love. I mean, the more you give those things away, the more you are increased in them. And this has been a gathering of knowledge and love. I thank you for sharing your knowledge. I thank you for sharing your love. Now show Lavish some love as he comes back on stage.
Give it up for Dr. Ware. Yo, so I wanted to start with a quote from Kwame Ture where he said, if revolutionaries continually talk about destroying, which sometimes you gotta do, but they never talk about creating or building, they're not actually revolutionary. And what we're doing right now, what we're all doing in this space is creating, we're building. This is a high vibrational space, and let's hold that frequency of love while we're here together. Firstly, I want to introduce a beautiful artist that is an anti-war veteran, Daisy Draper. She's a grad student, a musician, and is raising awareness for a page that I would love for all of you to follow right now. It's called Watermelon Butterflies, a collective of 80 families in Gaza that they are raising money for. So Daisy Draper, if you could come out here and bless us, give it up for Daisy, let's go.
Guys, thank you for having me. It's such an honor. Again, my name is Daisy Draper. We are here to raise awareness for a collective called Watermelon Butterflies. I'm an anti-war veteran. I served 6 years in the Army. Not proud of that. It woke me up to the horrifying impacts of US imperialism. But this first song is called Generation. All royalties from the song, it's out on every streaming platform, and I'm using this song to raise funds for watermelon butterflies. Talking about dumb shit on that who's the next new blonde chick, while the world be flooding and people dying, rather numb than think farsighted. Oh, you think that they give a fuck about you? Take your money, take your power, kill your dreams a bit too. You work so hard and what do? Raise the rent, raise the gas so you can't afford food. Yeah, I said it. Save your prayers for shit that matters. Yeah, I said it. Better yet, do something instead. Sing the song of a generation. Rip apart the heart on these corporations. Sing the song of our generation. Throw away my phone and take a long vacation. I'm not meant to live like this, oh no, cause we're living in a crisis. Sing the song of our generation. Stick it to the man and their exploitation. We just rather keep scrolling, spaced out personality boring, while your dopamine be soaring. Disassociate from things you're ignoring. It's because we're stressed, clinically depressed, trying to find meaning in a toxic mess. Hustle ain't healthy and it's not a flex. Need to fight systems that keep people oppressed. Yeah, I said it. Save your prayers for shit that matters. Yeah, I said it. Better yet, do something instead. Sing the song of our generation. Rip apart the heart on these corporations. Sing the song of our generation. Throw away my phone and take a long vacation. We're not meant to live like this. Wake up, cause we're living in a crisis. Sing the song of a generation. Whoa. Yeah, I said it. Save your prayers for shit that matters. Yeah, I said it. Free Palestine! Rip apart the heart on these corporations. Sing the song of our generation. Throw away my phone and take a long vacation. We're not meant to live like this. Wake up, cause we're living in a crisis. Sing the song of our generation. Whoa. Sing the song of our generation. Whoa. Sing the song of our generation. Generation. Throw away my phone and take a long vacation. Sing the song of a generation. Stick it to the man and their exploitation. Thank you. Free Palestine. So this next song, I'm gonna grab this board really quick. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. This is my friend Safa Mohammed. We're not only here to raise awareness for watermelon butterflies, there's also families that you can donate to outside in the front as well. But this is Safa Mohammed. Andrew and I, this is my partner Andrew, by the way. We organized Safa's campaign. Her original organizer stole $27,000 from her. So we started a new one for her. So I just wanted to raise awareness. I wanted to bring this. This next song is actually called Safa. I wrote this song for her. It's not out yet, but it will be soon. And yeah, this song is called Safa. I think of you every night. I'm worried, are you alright? Dreams of you, restless sleep. I got my love, runs so deep it runs down waterfalls. Feel it when your baby crawls, finds you in between the trees, holds you when you're on your knees. And once again, I'm horrified, witnessing the genocide. A mother cries, neck aside, not just hope that you're alive. And I just hope that you're alive. Peaceful life could never fail. Peaceful wish for all the souls lost too soon to decompose, turn into butterflies, hummingbirds in starry skies. Do you reap what you sow? I feel them everywhere I go. And once again, I'm horrified, witnessing the genocide. A mother cries, neck aside, not just hope that you're alive. And I just hope that you're alive. Yeah. I think of you every night. I'm worried, are you alright? Dreams of you, restless sleep. I got my love, runs so deep. Thank you. Thank you so much. Whew, a little emotional. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege, it's an honor. I'm just here to raise awareness, to be an advocate, and to fight alongside you guys in solidarity. My name is Daisy Draper. My handle on social is called NeuroPopstar. I'm a neuroscience grad student, so that's the whole thing. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
Up for Daisy. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Your voice is legendary, and the guitar, wow. I wasn't ready for that. That was beautiful. Let's give it up one more time for real, because that was immaculate. Yes. I just wanted to start off with a land acknowledgement. Right now we are on stolen Chumash land. So as we're fighting for collective liberation everywhere, we got to be conscious of the fact that we're here because of genocides that took place to allow us to be here in the first place. Some protests that occurred here at Santa Barbara actually had some indigenous Chumash people. I believe they were dancing and leading some of the protests that were on campus here. The next person we're going to have out that they are setting up for is somebody that I've been blessed to share this weekend with, Shila Ray, such a beautiful, divine, magic spirit, an artist, an activist, a mother. When she sings to us, it's going to sound like heaven is on Mother Earth. An Algonquin native of Canada, Shila Ray is an award-winning, beautiful, influential vocalist, musician, mother, soul voice singing coach, and she actually also, you may have seen her singing at the free and equal elections most recently, and right now you're gonna see her, and I'm so grateful to share the stage with her. Shila Ray, come out here. We need you to bless us. Give it up for Shila.
I'm so grateful. I'll say something first. Always with a humble heart. You know, I get to show up and speak my truth, sing my prayers, and share my love with people who are open to receive it. And it's such a blessing in my life to be able to do this for a living. I get to do this for a living, and I feel so blessed to have had the will, the courage, the energy to become an organizer over the last year after being an artist and an activist. I've been an activist for a long time, but it was difficult to be an activist with two young kids, you know, putting myself on the line. And I feel that, you know, my daughters who show up now and support, you know, on their own will. I'm very grateful for that. These years are so especially important to me, where, you know, they're watching me continuously show up and build community in these ways and for these events that feel exceptionally important as we're watching our human family suffer every day. So it's always my honor and my privilege to carry the message of strength and hope and positivity, you know, for change, good change in the world and unity and all these beautiful things, you know, but I'm also here for the fight. I'm also here for the resistance. I'm here for all of it. And art is the way that I express that part of myself best, I think. I always say that I tend to get myself into trouble with my words, but I can get myself out of trouble real quick with my voice, with my songs. So I'm going to sing a few songs for you today. It's been so beautiful being here all weekend and organizing this event for the last few months alongside Butch and a team of incredible people. So just shout out to everyone. I just want to give a shout out. You know who you are. Everybody who's put in their effort. Gabby, Claudia, Clem, Butch's whole team. Everybody that has just been behind the scenes, you know, making all the calls, being on all the meetings. Just this is the level of organization that's required right now. And as much as I would love to see this room entirely filled, I'm grateful for who is here, who has come today. So thank you for making an effort to come out. And let us continue to get together. And with that said, I'm also part of the Ojai Ceasefire group, and we have an event next Sunday, November 10th. Please come to support. We have music, art, vendors, speakers. I believe Butch is coming. Even if he doesn't want to, he's coming. I called it. And Lauren's going to be there. How funny. So I'm going to open with a song that I wrote years ago that I usually close as a prayer, but I'm going to close with a different prayer today after Jill speaks. I've been a little sick this week too, so I'm healing, you know? But thank you for your loving presence and attention. Into the wild I go, and into the wild I am. It's been a while, freedom child, since I left my roots back home. I once tried to run away like a wild animal's prey, running, hiding, I was riding high in the sunset sky. Hey ya hey, hey ya hey, hey ya hey ya hey ya hey, hey ya hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh, hey. And all my life, all this time, I've been a warrior and I know why. I've been given the torch of light, oh, in the darkness of the night. Years we fought for this freedom, years I thought I had a wisdom. Now I see with new eyes, from this truth I cannot hide. Hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, oh, hey. I gotta believe I'm here, make a difference without fear, being seen or heard. Like the bird who flies at night, like the lion strong and fierce, like the whale singing. I'd like to be bringing peace to you, to me, to you, to me. Into the wild I go, and into the wild I am. It's been a while, freedom child, since I left my roots back home. Into the wild I go, and into the wild I am. It's been a while, freedom child, since I left my roots back home. Into the wild I go, and into the wild I am. It's been a while, freedom child, since I left my roots back home. Into the wild I go, and into the wild I am. It's been a while, freedom child, since I left my roots back home. Everybody like that one. Nobody sang with me today. Was there anybody singing? The hey, I, hey's are, thanks, babe. And the hey, I, hey's always get people going, hey, I, hey. Say, what does it mean? I don't know. It just come through me, you know? It's in my lineage. I'm going to sing to a couple tracks, which is not my favorite, but that's how we get it done. Doing it. Do you have a request, Lavelle? What is it? I don't know. Lavelle, we're just going on trips yesterday, picking up supplies. She's like, I'm going to put on my favorite artist in the car. You got to do that to me in the car. It's very humbling. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. This song is called Existence. This is an oldie but a goodie, and I wrote this song with the hope of uplifting humanity as individuals, right? Just feeling it for yourself, whatever your work is to do. Only you know that, right? Wink. Sorry. See, that's what tracks do. There we go. Does it sound good out there? Good. Recognizing oneness, no separation of you and I, better bliss. We are playing one game, everyone wins the same. I allow all things to exist today, and I allow all things to exist in their own way. powerful creatress, living in the matrix, the source of all wisdom. In this bliss queendom, we will all manifest, we will all rise, raising our consciousness, opening our eyes. We can do anything as long as we try. Whoever said that the limit was the sky? I have a dream and I'm living it every day, learning not to let my fears get in the way. Oh, and I reach into myself and oh, I smile for what I'm feeling. Know that you are God and God is love. So when you pray, do you pray to above? And when you pray, do you pray below? And when you pray, you can pray to yourself, because you know that you are so powerful, and you are the one you've been waiting for, and you are so powerful, and you are the one that you've been waiting for. There's more to be aware of, but nothing to be scared of, 'cause we have a relationship with spirit, guided by the instinct, intuition. Don't think you are living this life alone. No, we were born into a world so fast. We got to slow down and not move too fast. So we have been given the gift of life. Blessed are these days and secret are these nights. Oh, and I reach into my soul, oh, just to find all that I know. We are part of a circle, a family. And how long will it take for us to see? And how long will it take for us to be? And what more could we possibly think we need? Just brave. We are so powerful, and we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are so powerful, and we are the ones we've been waiting for, and I am so powerful, and I am the one I've been waiting for. I am so powerful, I am the one I've been waiting for, and I am so powerful, and I am the one I've been waiting for. Thanks so much. This is the first concert I've done in a little while where it's like a theater room. It's like a proper room where we're seated. Feel free to move your body if you want. Lavelle, what song were you hoping I would sing? I want to take it home. Oh. That's a cappella. That's an a cappella one. I'm gonna do one more track, and this is like my God song. This one always takes me there, you know. So I'm here because music is therapy for me, you know. Music is a bridge to God, the great spirit that I feel at all times. Anybody else? Even just listening, but singing is my gateway, and I can't be without it in that way, you know. So again, I feel like this is like my this is my therapy session. Thank you for being a witness. Heavy on the bass. Come on. This is my gospel shit. Why can't I get out? Tired of all this running around, chasing what I haven't found. Fame will get you somewhere quick. I prefer the longer trip, so I can take it in. Jumping around, feeling fine. Say goodbye, what time is it? It don't matter now, 'cause I'm here. Lord, I made it this far, and I ain't backing down, no, no, no. Do I make myself clear? Every time I close my eyes, I can feel it. All the things I've kept inside, it's no secret. Everything could be wonderful if I would just believe it. I know I've got to be the one if a real change gon' come. I see you spending time on your phone. I send down a message, it ain't going through. I just can't figure out what this life's all about. You got me anyhow. I base my life around my family and the sound. 2 reasons why I can't stay down, no. I want a better life for everyone alive, and I'm gonna wait for a sign, yeah, yeah. It don't matter now, 'cause I'm here. Lord, I made it this far, and I ain't backing down, no, no, no. Do I make myself clear? And every time I close my eyes, I can feel it. All the things I've kept inside, it's no secret. Everything could be wonderful if we would just believe it. I know we've got to be the ones if a real change gon' come, yeah. Said I'm gonna pray. What is there left to do? Oh, I'm gonna make a change. Oh, I said I'm gonna have to pray now. What is there left to do? I said I'm gonna make a change. We're gonna make a change. I'm gonna make a change now. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I can feel it. All the things I kept inside, it's no secret. Everything could be wonderful if we would just believe it. I know I got to be the one if a real change gon' come, yeah, 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 yeah. I said I'm gonna have to be the change. Oh, I'm gonna have to pray. Oh, come so far. Oh, and I'm not going back now, no. I'm gonna make a change. Oh, I said I'm gonna have to pray. I'm gonna have to pray. I'm gonna have to pray now. Yeah. Lord, now. Change, make it. I think it's really funny. I picked that song, like, it's like my hardest bucket song while I'm like still singing. Here we go, Shila. Have fun up there, you know? This is about, I've done it all, man. I've tripped on stage, gone in a fight. I've witnessed myself fail so many times. And what do? We keep showing up. Still here. Hell, yeah, I made it. All right. So I'm going to do one more. Do I have time for one more track? I think so. Nobody's moderating. Okay. I see the timer. I like that back there. Lavelle, what song you want? You want Honesty? You want that one? That's soft. That's a vulnerable song. Actually, I'm going to sing this, and I might close with the water song. So I'm going to sing this song. When I look back at my life, there's a lot of shit I did. It wasn't right, but I forgive it. Oh, and I ain't perfect. But all that helps is remembering how far that we've come to get here. But don't forget your history and all that came before me. My grandma would be so proud of me, rooting in my corner. I got my higher power, and I got my daughters who look up to me. And I try singing through my pain, but it won't go away. And I cry, remembering my name, and our fears are all the same. Whoa, whoa. I'm trying out forgiveness. I'm trying to mind my own business, but veering out of my lane got me in trouble with this. Stealing and hiding, cheating and lying. And I'm looking in the mirror and I'm checking if my ego's dying. No, I'm still human, but what do I do then? Just keep praying. And I try singing through my pain, but it won't go away. And I cry, remembering my name, and our fears are all the same. And I try singing through my pain, but it won't go away. And I try remembering my name, and our fears are all the same. I'm just being honest. Fears are all the same. Our fears are all the same. Our fears are all the same. I'm just being honest with myself. Our fears are all the same. Our fears are all the same. Our fears are all the same. That's for you. See, it's vulnerable, but it's relatable, right? Because I feel that possibly all of you are here because you've maybe felt a little heartbroken over the last year, right? And that's what brings us together, and that's the beautiful gift that I've received from witnessing what we have, you know? I've really felt my heart just break open over this last year, and it's, I think, made me into a softer person, but it's also lit that fire within me that's always there, right? And it's activated in such a beautiful way, and you are all a reflection of that, so thank you. This is my newest song that just came out, and it's a water prayer. It's a prayer for the water. And so in the beginning of this song, there's this chant that is traditionally sung by the Algonquin women, and I'm from Northern Canada, and so this song I learned 20 years ago, and it just came back full circle and is now it's been woven into my new song that we just released.
Nibi wabo hendayen Hakim iskwi nibi wabo Nibi wabo hendayen Hakim iskwi nibi wabo Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. I was in a dream, or was it a memory? Grandmother, she came, this is what she said to me. Remember who you are and all of our history. Water gives us life, pray with it and you will see. We all come from the one, and we live by the water, with the light of the sun, giving thanks and honor. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Whole world's on fire while the people sleep. Can't see through the smoke, make it hard to breathe. Feels like we're on the brink of losing everything. And I'm looking to the river and I'm praying for an answer. Will we ever make a change so our children have a future? Let us make a brighter day. Never ever lose your faith. We all come from the one, and we live by the water, with the light of the sun, giving thanks and honor. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. to yourself, and the truth will set you free. Remember who you are and what you came here to be. Water gives us life, pray with it and you will see. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, you ready? All right, one last thing. This is a free event, thanks to Dr. Butch Ware and UCSB. And my ask, my personal ask of you today is that when you walk out and you go to the tables at the back with refreshments, if you grab something, could you please donate to one of those links? There are a lot of families who are in need right now of blankets and medical supplies and tents. They're getting cold. They still have the same needs, but because this is a free event, we're able to still fundraise. So all the QR codes are back there, and there's one that I have personally because I have a lot of relationships on the ground. And I hope a lot of you do at this point, and if you don't, ask yourself why. We have social media as a tool, so I encourage you to develop relationships where you talk with people on the ground every single day, okay? Will you do that for me? Yeah, it feels really good, you know, to know that my people are alive every day and just sending them love every single day and give them hope. And one of the brothers that I talked to has been asking about this event for weeks, bless his heart. And he just said, you're giving me hope every single day, you know? So I'm going to be donating a lot after this event. So thank you all. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for your loving presence and attention. And we got more for you here, so stay tuned. Yay, love you. Love you so much. Thank you.
Hey, hey. Give it up for Shila Ray. Oh my God. I have no words for her and I cannot sing, but our spirit, oh my God, we are unlimited beings and you just deliver that to us. We have no ceiling, none of us, and that was, I don't go to church, but I just did. Thank you so much for coming out. One more time for Shila Ray, that was a blessing. Thank you. Okay, so we gotta switch frequencies real quick. We're gonna go from that absolutely divine, cosmic, I don't have the words for it, but hallelujah. Hello, and we're gonna tap in with our head brain. We're gonna tap our brain, start tapping it, and you're gonna breathe however you'd like to, however feels good for you. I am a yoga instructor, but we're not gonna do any yoga. Now you're gonna tap the clavicle or the collarbones. This is called resetting our nervous system. You can breathe like Courtney just did. And then we're gonna go to our gut brain, which actually 90% of the neurological function in our bodies is from our gut. We can do it one more time if you need that, because that was a lot that Shila just brought to us. Thank you so much. The next person that's coming up, revolutionary, just like Shila, but there's so many different ways that we can do it. This is Akil the MC. He's coming from South Central Los Angeles, just 2 hours south of us. Some people think he's Tupac. He's gonna come out here and bless us in the most revolutionary way. This brother been on the billboard, and now he's here with us. Akil the MC, let's go! Play that shit, let's go!
What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing out there? Is everybody all right? Somebody make some noise! Zed, just go ahead and rock that right now. We're gonna have a little fun. Do some little hip hop here and stuff, you know. Yeah, okay, there go my music right there. Yeah, everybody on the right, y'all right over there? In the middle, y'all right? Come on, come on. Say, do that thing, do it. Come on, do that thing, do it. What we about to you've been through. A lot of people quick to tell you what you can't do. But you believe, man, need to keep the faith. Respect who you are, but you still know your faith. Who you are, how you fit, you a star, right you lit. You a winner, you the shit. Do the thing, never quit, y'all. We do the thing, never quit, y'all. You know why? Hands high. Come on, do your thing. Until the people on the left, yo, you looking real fresh. Come on, do your. Until the people on the right, get it in tonight. Come on, do your thing. Until the people in the middle, yo, shake it just a little hard. Do your. Until the people in the back, yo, you know where it's at, yo. I can't be me if I'm trying to be you. Now what work for me might not work for you. Self-confident, dominant, prominent. Yo, the obvious position of power and accomplishment. Self-pride, not an eagle fly high. Me, myself, and I still a part of humankind, yo. What I'm living, I apply, do you, do me, and that's a word to the wise, yo. That's a word to the wise. You know why? Hands high. Come on, do your thing. Until the people on the left, yo, you looking for friends, come on. Until the people on the right, get it in tonight, come on. Until the people in the front, yo, you know what's up, come on, do yo. Until the people in the back, yo, you know where it's at, come on. Alright, y'all got about 5 seconds to get to the dance floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Yo, party people from right to left. Just kick off your shoes and enjoy yourself. The recipe for rap is to flip the script.
I'm Akil the MC.
And then we bout to rip. So ladies and gentlemen,
From the music that sings far-fetched,
extreme.
from the brothers we bring a whole brand new
New thing, we're in the house.
Yo,
You put your hands together, 'cause I'm still in the house. Because I'm guaranteed to turn it out. This is what it's all about. We came to catch rap. We got to find the live down for the people to get down. Plus we got to suck the truth in check. Now come correct, I feel. Even with the real, 'cause it don't stop rocking till the wheels are still. Now say ho, say ho, ho, say ho, ho, ho. Now scream.
Akil J5 with the recipe.
yeah.
South Central MC in the place to be.
Come on, say ho if you know that my flow get you out on the floor and make you sweat for sure. Tell me God what you need. Stuck on my style and my melody. Come on, let me show you where the party at. Jumping with the party hat. Party back from the front to back. Party rap and you know that.
And so just kick back now. Party with the people when you bust that move. Get it up, don't stop now. Feel the rock, let the music push you. So ladies and gentlemen,
for the music that sings far-fetched,
extreme.
for the brothers we bring a whole brand new
new thing, we're in the house. So ladies and gentlemen, kneel down.
Yeah,
This what I'm talking about.
what's happening, y'all? Is everybody all right out there? I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I go by the name of Akil the MC. I represent a group called Jurassic 5. How many of y'all heard of Jurassic 5? Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. How many of y'all like hip hop? I got an even bigger question. How many of y'all love yourself? That's pretty believable. How many of y'all really love yourself? Everybody put a fist in there if you really love your freedom. Put it up even higher. Because there are people out here today that, trying to stop you from having your freedom. So you got to keep your shit up high, right? You got to let it shine like a beacon and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't believe you. So when you do put your head up here, hey, Zed, you ready? Hold on. So put that fist up here. And then when you see these people that don't give a damn about you, you just cock your back like this. And then you bring it down on their head like, yeah. You say I gotta fight for my freedom, my peace, my justice, my equality. Yo, you gotta pump your fist like this. Or just pump your fist like this. Just pump your fist like this. Come on, pump your fist like this. Come on, you got to hold on to this feeling. And what we want, y'all, freedom. Yo, freedom. Yeah, y'all gonna say it, all right? You got to hold on to this feeling. And what we want, y'all, freedom. And what we need, freedom. Yeah. Yo, I love my country, but I fear my government. Can't fuck with satanic secret services. Working this, merciless, multi-purpose. Seize your soul and search this. What mean the world to me is being free. Live and let live and just let it be, let it be. Love, peace, and unity, one universal family. One God, one aim, and one destiny. My forefathers hung in trees to be free. Got rid of slavery, but still kept the penitentiary. And now freedom got a shotgun and shells with your name. Release the hot ones, yo. Hold on to this feeling. And what we want, yo. And what we need. Yeah, you gotta say it like you mean it. Hold on to this feeling. And what we want, yo. And what we need. Yeah. Criminals inside of America stare at the beat down and highly oppressed in America. Beware of the irregular predator, warrior messenger, terrorists inside of America. Forever trying to be clever, extreme to the measure. Full court pressure, malicious, mind testers, aggressive, transgressors. Severed my ancestors from their family tree. Now we lost in America's criminal, hostile, environmental weather. A climate and alignment of a world of vendetta. But the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not walk. But I'm broke as fuck, struck out of my luck. I got to come up so you lay in the cut. And offer me the things that will make me come up. I have me formally fucked up. Survival with the inside rival. Make me liable with most of my thoughts. Suicidal soul. Hold on to this feeling. And what we want, y'all. And what we need. You gotta say it like you mean it. Hold on to this feeling. And what we want, y'all. And what we need. Yeah, you got to hold on. Cause it's not a lot of time. Your heart, body, soul, and your mind. This feeling we've been hurting so long. It's the reason why we named this song. Still not a lot of time. Your heart, body, soul, and your mind. This feeling we've been hurting so long. It's the reason why we named this song. Freedom, y'all. And that's what the Green Party represents, freedom and stuff, right? Freedom of choice. Freedom of choice. Voting is private. You don't have to let nobody know who you voted for, except you voted for the Green Party, you know what I'm saying? You want to let the world know, you know what I'm saying? Because we have choices and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So freedom is the thing that, you know, we all be searching for and trying to grab and get, because freedom is that thing that just releases the goodness in our bodies, right? Let me hear y'all say it one more time. Freedom. Now put two hands up in there. Everybody put two hands up in there. Two hands. Everybody. All in the back. Now check this out. I got some instructions for y'all. And y'all just pay attention. Zay, you ready? Go ahead and play that.
Stand up tall with your arms outstretched in front of you, and open and close your fingers with the music. Ready. Open, close. 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 Now relax a minute. Stretch out your hands.
All right. Now get them up one more time.
Ready?
Get them up. Come on.
Open, close. 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 Open, close.
All right, I think y'all ready now. Yeah. Real hip hop. If y'all love real hip hop, somebody say it. Come on. Hey, ho. Hey. It goes 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get it right, 4 to get it cracking, 5 to let it go, 6 for the mix, 7 for the lesson, 8 for the bass, 9 for the rhyme, 10 years ago. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get it right, 4 to get it cracking, 5 to let it go, 6 for the mix, 7 for the lesson, 8 for the bass, 9 for the rhyme, 10 years ago. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. If you like what you hear, let me hear you say, ho! Y'all get it. Yo, we stay active. stiff, heated like a blacksmith. You think you heard it all, but you ain't heard the half of it. I'm from a group by the name of Jurassic. We stay on tour, headline the main attraction. Smash for the cash, 100-yard dash, make them smash, hook them with the jab. Body blow, baby, work that. Hit the block and don't stop out the trunk, hip-hop. Still hot without a radio spot. Have you forgotten why we rockin'? Been hip-hoppin', way before the radio was even ever jogging. So it's on non-stopping, 24/7, 365. I feel to the head, right head. I've been patient on the sideline waiting. Other niggas hating, I'm just there to make a statement. I ain't trying to be the greatest, overrated. I ain't trying to catch a slug just to be somebody's favorite. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get it right, 4 to get it crackin', 5 to let it go, 6 for the mix, 7 for the lesson, 8 for the bass, 9 for the rhyme, 10 years ago. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get it right, 4 to get it crackin', 5 to let it go, 6 for the mix, 7 for the lesson, 8 for the bass, 9 for the rhyme. 10 years ago! Ha, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Word up, yo, it's like that, y'all, and you don't stop. A part of people in the place rock on. It's like that, y'all, and you don't stop. Check it out, y'all, yo. We still the same with the little fame. A little change in the household name, but ain't too much change. We in the game, yo, but not to be vain. Refrain from start rain, the season of my name. Entertain for a mutual gain and close range. Steady aim, a drum at your head to hit your brain. I'm labor ready, roll scholar for the dollar. Work for my baby, by the hour is a J-U-R-A. Capital S, another S-I-C. 5 MCs in the flesh. Down to catch wreck, hit the deck. Cause we'll pop the drum, hesitate for just a second. I'm from the crew. Guess who? The J-U-R-A-S-S-I-C. Where? In the place to be. And don't stop, we got the rhythm that makes your finger pop. Cause we are no superstars who wanna be large and forget who we are. Don't judge us by bank accounts and big cars. No matter how bright we shine, we are far from being stars. The stars fall and disintegrate before they hit the asphalt. They incinerate. We came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill. For those who appreciate those with skills, we not ballin', a shot calling. We take it back to the daily, yes, darling. We're holding on to what's golden. And on the stage, I rage and I'm rolling. We not ballin', shot calling. We take it back to the daily, yes, darling. We're holding on to what's golden. And on the stage, I rage and I'm rolling. Great expectations on our committee, unified relation. We rebel our rhythm through tribulation. And treble and bass the situation with dedication, great expectations on our committee, unified relation. We rebel our rhythm through tribulation. And treble and bass the situation with dedication. Yo, let's take it back to the concrete streets. Original beats for real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick. Just that classic rap shit from Jurassic. Let's take it back to the concrete streets. Original beats for real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick. Just that classic rap shit from Jurassic 5. Thank y'all very much. I said thank y'all very much. I said thank y'all very much. Man, I love this. I love this. I'm thankful just to be here. You know what I'm saying? Bilal, that's my guy. Butch Ware, we done music, but we met just on the talks of freedom and hip-hop and love and justice for our people and for people, all people together and stuff, you know? So I'm thankful to be brought here to perform. I'm from LA originally, but I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, and I came down here just to rock with y'all. You. Now, this is beautiful. I want to thank y'all very much for letting me rock and stuff. Once again, my name is Akil the MC. I represent a group called Jurassic 5 and stuff. Y'all can look them up. We old school hip-hop group and stuff, you know, but man, much love, all right? Thank y'all very much. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Revolutionary brother in the building. Give it up for Akil the MC. You feel me? That's rare. That's legendary. Hey, okay, if you need to stand up real quick, do some squats, lunges, touch your toe. What do you need to do? You need to stretch? No? Y'all good to go. Let's stay locked in then. We are here for a couple reasons, but collective liberation, and the group that's coming up next really needs no introduction because one of the MCs is also a doctor at this school. How many doctors y'all know rap and lift weights and are a candidate for some color? I forgot what it, you know what I'm saying? Super dope, new group, Chizza Bam, a legendary brother, as well as Dr. Butch Ware, coming out here, two black Muslim MCs, excellence, fighting a holy war to redeem the soul of hip hop. Give it up for the only Slum Prophecy. Let's go. Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Wait, this one? Yeah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's them vibes tonight up in here.
Always. Hey, and before we even start, let's just set the right mood.
Okay.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river. From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Say word.
Word.
So the one correction that I would offer, yes. Say again? Okay.
Shila, we appreciate you dropping some things on us.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly.
She told me to take my phone and my wallet and my keys out of my pockets, just so y'all know. So now I have to get undressed.
This ain't no R&B concert, so ladies, don't get the wrong idea about this right now. This ain't one of them parties.
So to get the show back on track, so first of all, a lot of people don't know this story, but I learned to writing rhymes before I ever wrote history, before I ever wrote books. And I had a demo tape when I was 19 years old. I got in an argument with my studio engineer. He drew a gun on me, and I decided to take a break from music for a while.
Crazy.
And then the next thing I knew, I was a history professor and hadn't picked up a mic or a pen in a long time. But during quarantine, I did an IG Live with the incredible Akil the MC. Akil, come back out here, man. Come on. All right.
This man right here, man. God.
And as he was saying, we were connecting about liberation. We were connecting about the role of hip hop in our journey as black Muslims specifically. And so many of us were guided to knowledge of self through the conscious rap of our era. And so many of those folk were Muslims, sharing the same deen as our brothers in Philistine.
Facts.
Okay? So after doing some IG Lives with different Muslim recording artists, people said, well, you should, dust off your pen game. You should maybe spit a few bars again. And it was quarantine, so I got an Ableton push machine because I didn't like any of the beats that people were making, so I started making beats. And I sent one of them to this guy.
Whips and Chains. That was the first track, Whips and Chains.
And it's still one of our most popular streaming tracks. We've released 5 albums in 2.5 years, over 6 million streams. We sold thousands of dollars of records through digital download before we ever released any music to Spotify, because Spotify is a plantation, doesn't pay its artists.
Straight up.
So we wanted to represent that conscious Muslim hip hop. A lot of people don't know Jurassic 5 was on their 5. They were on their 5 daily prayers. That's a Muslim conscious group. And so we're gonna start you with an a cappella of one of the first tracks that we did. There's an expression of our conscious understanding of Afrocentric Islam. Bam, lay it on them.
I self-law am master, axter. Supreme I for all things iron I'm after. Arm, leg, arm, head, triumphs of faster. Drenched in the presence of the gods, a pasture. Submit the will to the sovereignty, this philosophy, taking accountability, ownership, apostrophes. So for now we hitting dummies over the head with this rock. like Dwayne Johnson from the bottom to the top, like an autumn when the crops bloom, invested in this mystical stock. Hit the bump, then your crew run. Who wants some? Knock, knock, aiming at the devilish ops. Know that the secret is never to stop. Civiliter mortus, dead in the eyes of the law, but these black men alive as we strive to pass life down to our tribe.
I, self, law, and master. I-S-L-A-M. Islam. How many of y'all caught those bars? How many of y'all caught them when poor righteous teachers were spitting them, or Brand Nubian was spitting them, or Wu-Tang was spitting them?
Come on.
Arm, leg, arm, head. Spell it out. Allah. The divinity within me, infinity. How could you fathom between the seeing and the blind? Chains on the mind, there lies a chasm. You believing in lies, can't see the truth with one eye. We shadow rivals and idols, call it iconoclasm. Your idolatry and iconography, comma, apostrophe. No stopping me when I dismantle your ideology. The trophies on my mantles is all false philosophies. No heat in the candles. We are on Abraham's theology. Check it. If God say fire be cool, then the blaze must obey the rule, so the heat and flame can be tamed. And it's the same for Jesus walking on waves of Moses parting the water. The point of departure is only Allah saves. And the rest of y'all slaves in a prison of your senses. You could trample the fences anytime, but just stay inside. Dive in, the water's fine. Strive into the divine, lacing lyrics for the mystics. Come get this more science.
Come on now. Hey, y'all liking what y'all hearing? Do you feel good? Do you feel good? Okay. This next joint right here is something special. Word. We did it with the big homie over here, and it's called Feel Good.
Yeah.
Come on, cut that thing.
Jig, go on, play that.
That feel good. Go on, play that. Go on, play that.
Yeah, and I made this beat too.
How many of y'all like to feel good? Y'all like feeling good?
Yo, we got that feel good, make you feel real good. Good vibes, feeling so appealing, make you feel good. Good times, good rhymes, make you feel the sunshine on your mind. Ready for the world, feeling so divine, that is fine. Feel good, make you feel real good. Good vibes, feeling so appealing, make you feel good. Good times, good rhymes, make you feel the sunshine on your mind. Ready for the world, feeling so divine, down your spine. Feel good.
As the euphoria hits ya, forget the rat race, don't let the worries afflict ya. Basquiat, the ox be painting the glorious picture, like Mother Earth be dreaming often before she delivers. This that vibe taking the pros from different angles, so break your fall an ankle before the breakup single. This that night on the town for some seclusion, the ever illusion. Crowds gather for solutions. How you feel?
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling lovely.
Say what?
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling lovely. Feeling great, feeling good.
Yeah.
By the beach, by the bank, the physical comical business on the chain gang. With the most beautiful we never desire, main. The mind is a mystery, know you feeling the same thing.
We got that feel good, make you feel real good. Good vibes, feeling so appealing, make you feel good. Good times, good rhymes, make you feel the sunshine on your mind. Ready for the world, feeling so divine, down your spine. Feel good, make you feel real good. Good vibes, feeling so appealing, make you feel good. Good times, good rhymes, make you feel the sunshine on your mind. Ready for the world, feeling so divine, down your spine. Feel good.
So much negativity in your heart's hard to define the line with hatred, all declining little stars. We trying to shine these rays of blaze of creativity when it sparks the African kings. Star God, you niggas about the dark.
Come on.
So much
Changes leave it all behind. It's suspended animation, great escape from the daily grind. The true vibration, intoxication for the mind. Heart is a charging station. From those inclined, construction of the nation, poets, sons, and queens alike. Screw down to your shoes, ain't gon' sing no blues tonight. We came to get y'all truly lifted with some speakers in the mic. Don't get it twisted, we gon' fly you out the speakers.
Hey, we got that feel good.
Make you feel real good. Good vibes, so appealing, make you feel good. Good times, good rhymes, make you feel the sunshine on your mind. Ready for the world, feeling so divine, down your spine. Feel good, make you feel real good. Good vibes, so appealing, make you feel good. Good times, good rhymes, make you feel the sunshine on your mind. Ready for the world, feeling so divine, down your spine. Feel good.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Feeling great.
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling lovely. Feeling great, feeling good, feeling good.
So we said it in the artist panel today. We are struggling to get this freedom so that we can enjoy our freedom. This is not about being defined by what has been lost, but what we are striving to build and to gain. Like, this is supposed to be a space of elevation.
100%.
Getting you lifted spiritually. So the next track that we're gonna go into is actually the first one that we did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you staying up here.
Man.
Man, this is a legendary one right here, man.
So this one is actually our second most popular streaming track of all time. This one's called Nostalgic. And it came about because we do trap beats, we do reggaeton. I'll cook up a beat in any genre. I'm a fool with that Ableton. I've made 3,500 beats in the last 3.5 years.
Yeah, wow. This man be sending me beats sometimes.
Be
I just be like, bro, chill out, bro. What's going on? Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's what I do, to decompress, that creative expression that Naley by Nature was talking about. Like, we're all artists. I'm not a great MC, but I be cooking a beat. And I'm good with the pen. So Nostalgic is about that hip hop era that we came up in.
That's right.
And we miss it. You know what I'm saying?
80s.
So I'm gonna say a little quick. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
I gotta give one to you because these my OGs right here. These my men.
Right.
But they did their era, and when they did what they did, I did my era. So I'm just letting y'all know when they get to me, I did my era.
So we did a whole track that takes you through hip hop history. So I'm gonna start in the phonographic era. And then Akil is going to take on the era of the tape deck.
Right.
And he's going to feel nostalgic for the era of the CDs. And I'm just going to give you a taste. Put the needle on the record, grab a microphone and check it. Set a stage before you wreck it. Turn your tongue into a weapon. No one headed to the exits. Don't forget about the message. Get them, hit them with the rhythm. Make sure nobody forget it.
Right. That's what's up.
Come on.
Go ahead and rock that.
Hey, drop that.
Drop the beat.
Come on. Yes, y'all.
Come on. Put the needle on the record, grab a microphone and check it. Turn your tongue into a weapon.
Turn your tongue into a weapon. No one headed to the exits.
Don't forget about the message. Get them, hit them with the rhythm. Make sure nobody forget it. Phonographic records, 1, 2, let's begin. Turntable, tilted cables, gold cables in the grip.
When we spin back the tables, we fable back through time. 3 MCs.
Defiant, like a sable with the rhyme before the trap, before the boom back in the day. R&B from the 70s. Held sway and got the radio play. Along with disco and soul. And flashing her putting work, wheels of steel in control.
And they was moving the crowd, using the record player only.
But the game changed when we mastered the ceremony. Nowadays, Instagram and YouTube be making names. But if you never rock the crowd, it ain't the same as the same. The closer I get to you, the more you make me see. If you can't remember a classic track, you ain't no real MC. We're taking it back to the true school. Love for the new school. No hoes, bar, cold bars, one roll. Put the needle on the record, keep it 100 authentic in the people's truck. I said it.
Deliver the sacred message.
Come on. Tell them about the cassette era. Come on, we got you. Yeah. Come on. Put the cassette in the tape deck. If it's whack, eject. Fast forward, rewind the rhyme when the word connect. Take it back, take time to reflect. And if it's hitting hard, take the stars with the respect.
Mic check, 1, 2, I love my old school group. Ever since I was a youth, I've been rocking the truth. Who hurt the band by the broad records and loops. We used to rock it on the loop.
Now we rock it for you.
I love living in the past, cause in the past I had a blast. I was dope,
yeah, had style, do the math.
Graffiti rock, B-boy, pop, lock, and touch rock. When the field used to push white trees
and don't stop.
I love a time when the lyrics so divine, rapping like a phone, you know the vibe. It was simple, crazy and complex,
but never out of tune with the tunes on the deck. They say the 80s is the golden age. They say the 80s is the golden age. They say the 90s is the golden age. I hear the 90s is the golden age.
Mic check, 1, 2, I love my old school crew. Ever since I was a youth, I've been rocking the truth. Who hurt your band by the rock records and loops. We used to rock it in the park, now we rock it for you. Hey, Chisel, go get 'em.
Hey, tell them what you like in the 90s. Tell them about the 90s.
Bring it down south.
Put the CD in the boombox and let it play non-stop. These 60 minutes of nothing but missiles and bomb drops. Remember calculating the loot in every time slot. A true student of the game, no, you can't tell me I am not. In the A, bumping Southern playalistic Cadillac music. You might say if you realistic, matter of fact, prove it. Well, I got other guy, I didn't got it. Always knew I would make it if I had to say about it. Let's take it to Little John, the house party shot it. I won't forget the East if you bought the divine vibes. Everybody was a shooter in 9 lives. In my white tee, in my white tee. Always kept their hands on me if they wanna fight me. Sipping on that icy, it could get shicey. About a year later, that's when Gucci drops so icy. About the same time, that's about the motivation. They was still bumping drop or die. Couldn't tell us Nathan. Then we started walking it out like Van Lathan. G's posted in the cut, Breeze getting naked. Tell me again, and we'll be lovers and friends. No other intent. Around that time, it was more about the vibe than who had the dopest flow. If you know, then you know. Ben.
Yes, y'all.
On the north side, you're witnessing history. Yes, y'all. Come on, golden age hip hop.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all.
Hold on. Let's be very quiet. This is the original sample
It's that rocky stuff
that I flipped for the beat.
It's crazy.
Wait for it.
Slow jam.
Come on, man.
Your professor could never.
You're a creative vice president.
Your professor could never.
You a creative vice president, bro.
Your boomer vice president could never.
Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Hey, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You already know, man.
Thank you.
Bro.
I
Nothing but
love y'all. I love y'all too. Thank y'all.
Oh yeah, Firestarter. Hold on. You know what? We got Firestarter coming up next. Tell them about the project, Aksa Flood.
This is actually, this next project, those first two were a couple ones that we already had in the tuck, but these next 3 tracks are from our latest album, Aksa Flood, which the title track actually includes Shila Ray, who was right there.
Yeah, do you guys want to hear an encore from Shila? Because she's going to be up here in a minute to sing the hook.
But this one right here is called Firestarter, and we're talking about the Congo on this. Everybody talks about other issues, but we had to bring it all around globally, because revolution is not just one place, it's not just one body. We all are one body. It's about the whole global diaspora, the whole global family. So this joint is Congo, Firestarter.
Firestarter.
Drop that joint.
Like them lithium batteries.
You never heard a Firestarter like this. The black of the berry, the black of the blood, the black of the fist. While you rapping about that ice on your wrist. The blood of the Congo flows and drips. You never heard a Firestarter like this. For batteries in your phone, in your home, and whips. They make a slave of black kids and white men get rich. We done taking this shit. We about to burn down this bitch.
Fuck we uphold. And every trace of colonialism we uphold.
Every colossal and white lie that we was told.
Like every apostle was a white guy to whom we were sold. That was all the deceivers code.
Plundering cobalt, copper tin.
Niggas never seen the gold. Mutilate, chop our kin. Enemies treat us cold. Shoot with they eyeballs in. They wanna see us fold.
If you are not all in, get from round when you see this blow.
Hit the ground when the streets flow. Nigga, I'm stepping on outs and I'm setting up shop in the land of my mother. Setting up shots, I'ma stand for my brother. Who sold your people? Body was killed with that man undercover. The real figure that both are not equal. They get away, that man gon' suffer.
You industry plants keep pushing that black on black.
Flexing them blood diamonds, we now on flood timing, and that's on fact. No more talking down, we walking down. Spanking, we put a cap on that. Spreading rough all around and all around until God, he called us back. You never heard a Firestarter like this. The black of the blood, the black of the berry, the black of the fist. Why you rapping about that ice on your wrist? The blood of the Congo flows and drips. You never heard a Firestarter like this. For batteries in your phone, in your home, and whip. They make a slave of black kids. White men get rich. Done taking this shit. It's time to burn down this bitch. Alfonso, king of the Congo in 1526, wrote letters to the king of Portugal asking him this.
Said no more of your merchants and no more slave ships.
No more rum, no more guns, no more chains, no more whips. Now it's 2024, same many on that same shit. Divide and conquer, make it monster so we can bank a grip.
Blood of my brothers drips.
And gripping sisters by the heads, the lighted cliff. They killed Lamumba, sly smile of the lips.
Heart of darkness once it started, it ain't no coming back.
Journey from Congo to Negro, Afro, on to black.
Africa shall rise. The devil got nowhere to hide. Ethiopia stretched forth her hair. Redemption for the black man. Way
Down in the jungle deep, sanctifying MCs got live on the beat.
Heard our sisters from the Congo as they cry and weep. White devil killed the mama, kept the lion sleep. I'm tired of the endless trauma, the ruthless drama of my people being slaughtered by a devil with no honor. Africa was still enslaved under President Obama. Whole world a tinderbox slum. Be that fire starter, French but not the crucial author. Am I my brother's keeper of resistance? Magna Carta, you can keep that street sweeper. Put it into all the slaughter, different target for the heater. Stop killing your own people and turn the triggers against the evil.
This, you know what? Is y'all feeling good right now? Are y'all liking what you hearing right now? Okay.
What do we got next?
I don't even know. Drop this.
Olive branches.
Oh, man.
Try to break you down.
Hey,
but
you know what?
still
Cut the record.
standing.
Cut the record for me.
Try to
Cut the
shake
record.
you
Pull it
down,
back.
but
Pull
you
it back. Pull it back. Pull it back.
Pull that back.
Can I introduce this one?
Please do.
Okay. Chizzer wrote this one from what I heard in like an hour and a half. And this one is called Olive Branches. We just took you to Resistance in the Congo. We have another track called Thawra, which is about the Sudan. Our brother Issa Mighty, Issa Muhammad, who features on that track, is performing in Chicago this weekend. Otherwise, he'd be lighting up the stage for us now. But we tried to make sure that the global revolution was represented. But everybody has been sparked and tuned into the global revolution, the anti-imperialist revolution, because of our brothers and sisters in Palestine. And we called this album Aqsa Flood because we have never and will never condemn the resistance to occupation.
Absolutely.
Resistance is not a right, it is a responsibility. So when Chizza sent me this one called Olive Branches, he had made a beautiful, soulful beat. But I was halfway through the production of Aqsa Flood, and every single track on the album is produced only with Eastern instrumentation. The whole album tastes like Gaza. It sounds like Gaza. And so he had already spit the vocal, and I made a beat to go under what he had already done. Can you give him Olive Branches?
Let's go. Got it.
Olive branches. Try to break you down, but you still standing. Try to shake you down, but you still landed. Rooted in the ground and they can't stand it. They can't stand it.
They targeted innocent people, superiority complex. Remember the sequel? Cause to them it is equal to lynching men and women and children, a native tongue, or descendant of transatlantic, a sham. You defending the evil, standing on stolen land while they paint the canvas with blood. The devil gon' show his hand, he plots and plans, but above is an orchestration that's greater than all. The greater the crimes against the nation, the greater the fall. We pray for the lost. Sacrifice in the name at the cost of capitalism. Ism, schism, shame on you frauds. For all of the babies who mothers told them aim for the stars and you surely will reach them. Now they in the presence of God and he surely will keep them. Send a package, he'll surely receive them. Surely relieve them. Weaken jury to freedom. Judge, jury, executioner for years been diluting the masses, controlling, altering, and surely delete them.
Damn.
It's crazy how they treat the home team like Adolf. Dehumanize the people into beasts until it paid off. Threw them in the ghettos like the black concrete meadows, but some flowers rose from pavement. God never took a day off. Watermelon seeds can't help but see the irony in that, the separation. Segregation as Zion reenacts with celebration. The same deeds that gave them rights to reparations. Families eat last suppers in the night is elevation. Damn. Try to empathize and wonder why suicide seems better to the traumatized. Will never understand. Rise and shine. Remember Biafra, many of them rose up and died for mine. We the products of strife and pain, ice and rain. Ancestors taken from their land as slaves, but every day they would fight again. According to these Einsteins, that's quite insane. Even in these dark times, the light remains. Regardless your race, faith, or your tribe, this your brother from another mother saying, stay alive, Palestine. As the world marches with you in pursuit of justice, Gaza, you'll be free. It's only a matter of time.
Olive branches. Try to break you down, but you still standing. Try to shake you down, but you still landed. Rooted in the ground and they can't stand it. They can't stand it. Olive branches. Try to break you down, but you still standing. Try to shake you down, but you still landed. Rooted in the ground and they can't stand it. They can't stand it. We're almost at our time. We're gonna call the incomparable Shila Ray back up to the stage, and we are gonna go out on the title track of our album, Aksa Flood. Shila, where you at, girl? Dramatic entrance. All right, while we're doing that,
No, I'm
while
right
we're
here,
waiting.
I'm right here. I was trying to do.
Okay,
I was trying to do something.
Dramatic
I was
entrance.
about to
Okay.
hit him with an intifada.
I was trying to do
It's all good.
Come on, come on, come on.
I was gonna come in with.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Look, different vibe, different vibe.
It's cool for you coming in.
Do
late.
what you gotta do, and you're center
Yeah.
stage. This is your hook.
All right.
Go on, cut that Aksa Flood on. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I said the whole album sounds like Gaza.
Come on.
How you like this beat though?
Products of the night journey, Mecca, Jerusalem. Never be cool with them cowards who fight firmly on the side of the imperial flag. Worldly gain and shame, cause materials pass.
Every nation has a decreed time, but meantime,
me and mine gon' breed minds that read signs, words that feed lines despite the siege crimes.
They conduct in the Holy Land, word of Palestine.
Ethnic cleansing, ironic cause the 5 times prayer ethics rinsing. Erotic till we 5 times greater, never ended.
call our names and say that right.
We want peace cause you left black and came back white. Man be the Al Jahi for Persia to Myanmar.
Eager to help leaders, searching to free the hearts.
From the Dajalic forces, fraud endorsements. How many empires fell to a small enforcement?
Blood pouring through, cleansing you, wash away lies and truth, set you free, breaking loose to fulfill the prophecy.
Media collateral damage, like a ligament, disparaging the Muslims and Arabs. That's the sentiment apparent, the miscarriage of truth. They concealing this, for prophecy is back in the booth.
You know you feeling it.
You fearing it, they fearing it. We came to hit the pyramids, revealing the primeval connection. Sacred spirit,
The holy of holies, black and reveal what the theorem is.
Greeks, they stole their knowledge from Egypt. Black physicists, ox.
You know you hear it. Flood is near and promise to Bethlehem. We get it in righteous man.
Dangerous minds, sacred science is the method. Afro-Asiatic man, rise and shine. Black presence, slumber, turn to Christ. With a mic and a lesson from the dome, we rock y'all, wailing wall up to the heavens.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up.
Set you free. Set you free.
Y'all give it up for Shila Ray. Y'all Lord have mercy. Y'all give it up for
Aksa Flood, Slum Prophecy, featuring the incomparable Shila Ray.
More on the way. More on the way.
Oh, Lord.
Love you guys. Thank you.
That's our set.
Thank you.
Give it up for Slum Prophecy and Shila Ray one more time. Yeah. So grateful that we got to be blessed with all this music, and now we're gonna drop the MC and we're gonna have the return of the doctor come up here in a moment. We gotta have duality. We gotta have art in revolutionary spaces. It can't just be one thing or another. You know, there's so many ways to do it. We had a choice point in every moment
every circumstance, each activity, every spoken word and thought. And when we can shift from negatively complaining to positively affirming, then our conditions can change. And right now we're gonna change up everything. Say yes to life. It's gonna happen exactly how we want it. I would love for y'all to give yourselves a round of applause because just y'all being here is revolutionary in a way. Yes, yes. So this is about to be it for me. Super grateful to come up here and spend this time with y'all. And the next person you're gonna experience, like I said, is not the MC, but the Dr. Butch Ware. He'll be back up here in a moment. How is everybody feeling? What's going on? What's the vibe? What's the energy? Can I get a free? Y'all acted like you didn't know what you were here for. Free! I love it. I made a video on TikTok because Instagram deleted my page and banned me, so I was like, let me go to TikTok. And the video, I made a juxtaposition of how Hurricane Helene related to genocide. And I didn't know my twin, brother Butch Ware, that's my twin, but he's like 100 pounds more than me and like 6 inches taller. But he followed me. I'm like, yo, he got a platform for black liberation with Jill Stein. That's crazy. I love it. And I'm grateful to be up here. So shout out to TikTok. Congress, don't ban that. We need that shit. If it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't even know this, brother. So the reason that we're here right now is obviously collective liberation. But it's because of the efforts and the energy of Dr. Ware, who used his doctoral study budget here at the university to provide this space for all of us to come together and share this moment as we move forward. And it's not just this moment, but it's a movement to collective liberation. So I'm gonna let him light the way for the rest of tonight's program. My name is Lavish, super grateful for y'all. Give it up for, not the MC, but the Dr. Butch Ware.
I'm so jealous of Lavish's hair that I'm gonna take just one shot. Handsome Sideshow Bob, right? Did anybody else see it? Does anybody else see it? Okay, good. So you wouldn't notice I wait till you get off stage before I start joning on him. Okay, so I'm back, costume change, no longer Beware the MC and producer, back to Professor Ware, and I'm gonna be very brief in my introduction. Everybody came here tonight to hear Dr. Jill Stein. And the only thing that I'm gonna say about this is that I pressed send on that album the day before I did my IG Live with Dr. Jill. And my life got fundamentally changed from that time on. And yeah, I cleaned out my programming budget to put on this conference. I negotiated $250,000 of programming funds when I came in 6 years ago, and I've spent them on programs to bring together artists and activists and academics over the last 5 years, and I had $50K sitting in that account, and we spent it this weekend. Because we have to model the sacrifice that is needed for successful revolution. Every single one of us has to leverage every single penny, every single social relationship. When we marched on this campus over a year ago, and I can't believe that the genocide is still going, the Zionists came for my job within a week, and we still standing. Speak, stand up, If we do this together, they cannot silence us. Stop being scared. Push all your chips into the middle of the table and bet on freedom. When Dr. Jill called me back after that IG Live and asked me would I consider running for vice president, I asked, have y'all run tape on me? Do y'all understand like how genuinely crazy, revolutionary, radical I am? And you know that I do not have another speed. Jason Call, campaign manager, give a shout out to Jason. And again, this is not a campaign event, educational conference. What Jason said was, he said, yeah, that's why we called you. Go start that good trouble. That's what he said. So I knew I was mixed up into the best kind of trouble when the most radical track off of our album, we didn't play it tonight, I didn't want to make the newspaper, but a track called Kill Shot. Check out Kill Shot on Oxa Flood. When Dr. Jill heard Kill Shot in the car, she was like, you got to do that one on Breakfast Club. I was like, I can't scare this old white lady, dang. Like, I've been making, Mickey Mac got a song about shooting cops and we can't even get her, you're scared? Like, cause her heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. Jill is in this to win this. And Jill has been guiding the people towards a peaceful revolution for decades. So it is an honor and it is a privilege and it is a pleasure to call her to the stage on the day before my birthday, here on my home campus, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jill Stein.
So, wow, that's a hard act to follow. And truth to tell, I think we're all following each other here. We're all leading and we're all following because, you know, this is a time of transformation. This is a time, like Butch said, to just put it all on the table because it's now or never. Because history demands that we do this, because this is a moment unlike any we have ever seen before. To be living in the time of a genocide, you know, and it's not the only genocide, there are other terrible genocides going on right now, but this one we are paying with our tax dollars. We are funding this genocide. Our leaders are enabling this genocide. They are committing this genocide. This is not Israel's genocide alone. This is a joint genocide between the US empire and the Zionist state of Israel. And we say, enough, not on our time, not with our dollars, not in our name. We do not consent. And we are doing whatever it takes to stop this genocide. And, you know, pertinent to what Butch was just saying, he and I had a conversation about a week before we had to have our VP settled. We had another wonderful VP candidate who happened to develop serious illness in his family, and he had to step down about a week before we had to have our ticket finalized and all the paperwork in and all that. And we were like tearing our hair out, what are we gonna do? And we just happened to have this interview, this live stream interview with this great social media influencer that Mark Alberno. Mark, where are you? Raise your hand, Mark. And thank you, Mark. Mark was the matchmaker here. Mark, who is from Gaza himself, and who, like so many people, has put absolutely everything on the line to transform our moment in history, to bend that moral curve of justice, the arc, the moral arc of the universe that has to change, that is changing right now, that so many of us are part of that change. Mark totally turned his life around on a dime to do everything possible to fight this genocide and to fight the empire that is one and the same as this genocide. So Butch and I did this interview that was just such fabulous, amazing energy, and we felt like, or I certainly felt like, whoa, we are so much in the same place. We have come out of the same moment in history, and we're kind of going to the same destination here. And we were, trying to fill this slot. And the next day, our team said, wow, he would be so amazing as a partner to challenge Empire. So I called him up the next day. It was around midnight. And I said, have you ever thought about running for vice president? And basically he said, no, but if that was in the cards, I don't think I could say no to anything that would help stop this genocide. And he said, I'm going to think on it, I'm going to pray on it, I'm going to call you tomorrow with a bunch of questions, and we'll go from there. And so the next day he had, some questions, because he never ran for office before. I don't think he was a part of any organized political group before. So he had some routine questions. I don't even remember what they were. And at the end of that conversation that maybe went on for an hour, he said, okay, I'm in. I'm going to bring my family to come and help take care of my kids, bring his mom in, and switch his life around and see if he could get a sabbatical or a part of a sabbatical. And just like in the blink of an eye, he completely did a 180 on his life. And that's what I think so many of us are doing right now, because we don't have a life if Gaza doesn't have a life. And as we've always said, as part of the resistance, that as Gaza goes, we all go, because what's happening in Gaza doesn't stop in Gaza. And we're seeing that right now as that genocidal war is being expanded into the West Bank, into Lebanon, in bombing campaigns now in Syria and Yemen, and with Iran, one bombing run so far, but another big, another big offensive that's in the works. And it was promised that this was going to happen before the election. At this point, I'm not sure whether it will, but Bibi Netanyahu has been very clear about his intentions for a long time, and there are many in the US government as well who've all been gunning for Iran. And, I think everyone in this room knows what an incredibly horrific thing that will be for the war to be enlarged by bringing in Iran, which has been exercising incredible restraint in spite of the assault on, the Iranian embassy in Damascus, I think, many months back, which is an act of war. That was a war crime. The assassinations as well that took place in Tehran, the assassination of, who was it? I think it was Hania, the negotiator for Hamas, the very moderate negotiator who was wiped out by the Zionist state of Israel that just assassinated him. That too is illegal and a war crime on its own, but also very much towards Iran to be conducting an assassination on Iran's territory. And Iran held back for months because it was said that there was a peace deal in the works. But of course, that turned out to be just so much hype as well. So, finally when Iran fired back in a very restrained way that merely targeted military facilities and did not target people, they had a very restrained response. That was a provoked response. And that response has then been used by Israel as if that's where, as if they moved the goalpost right there. It's as if the conflict with Iran began right there. Now they're talking about retaliating. Well, they're retaliating to a retaliation, which was, their retaliation was extremely restrained. And now that's being used as an excuse to really blow this up, literally and figuratively. And Israel's been talking about bombing Iran's nuclear facilities, which again is a war crime. The last I heard about that, bombing a nuclear power plant is the equivalent of dropping an atomic bomb. It's extremely explosive. It's a very dirty radioactive explosion. It's extremely dangerous. Even the Secretary General of the UN was saying, oh my God, don't do this. This is horrible. This is extremely dangerous. And importantly, Russia is also saying, don't do this. Russia, which is in a military alliance with Iran. So this is sort of Bibi Netanyahu's wildest dream. Let's really enlarge this war. Let's create a nuclear war. Let's create a World War III. And it does have the potential to be that. Thank you. So this is just dangerous beyond imagination. And add to that now the fact that the military draft is back. Are people aware of that? A lot of people don't know that the military draft has actually been back for a while. Now it's automated. So you don't have to go sign up. They know about you. They know where you are. This is, I think it's like AI. This is like enlistment via artificial intelligence, bringing people into that draft. So all that needs to happen right now is for the president to say, oh, we need boots on the ground. And what has the president already promised? Boots on the ground for Israel. Has already sent 5,000 people with each of the 2 aircraft carrier groups. So there's an aircraft carrier group off the coast of Iran, and there's another aircraft carrier group, at least it was said to be heading for the west coast just off of Gaza many weeks ago. I presume it's there by now, although I haven't actually seen reports. But that's 10,000 people right there, in addition to another 40,000 U.S. men and women, servicemen and servicewomen that are already stationed in the Middle East. So this has all the makings of an absolutely explosive and deadly conflict that could very easily justify the president saying, okay, now it's time for those boots on the ground, that we've been attacked or some of our soldiers have been wounded or killed, and actually several have been already. That is U.S. soldiers that were already stationed in the region. So this could easily explode. There are just so many ways for this to blow up. And we could wind up fighting this war not only with our tax dollars, but also with the blood of young men and eventually women who will likely be drawn into this as well. In fact, women, of course, are already there. Women are not subject to the draft, not yet, but there is talk of that. So women could be drafted into this too. So at any rate, this could be our blood as well as our tax dollars. So it's so important that we stand up. But the amazing thing, and this is really a tribute to everyone who's been standing up to say, no more, not in our name. It's been standing up since this exploded, ever since October 7th. And of course, October 7th was not the beginning of this conflict. That's just where the empire chose to define it, as starting on October 7th. In the same way that this genocide tries to justify itself by October 7th, well, then they need to justify October 7th as a response to all the massacres that preceded October 7th. And it's nuts and ludicrous to think that you eliminate the violence from the occupation. Occupation creates violence, and occupation will make resistance absolutely inevitable, and that resistance is acknowledged in international law. So the way to end the violence is to end the occupation. Of course, it's the only way. And the President of the United States can end the occupation and can end the genocide. Well, the genocide in particular. The occupation will take more work, but let's start by stopping the genocide immediately, and it can be ended immediately. Simply, excuse me, simply by picking up the phone. And this is what Ronald Reagan did back in 1982 when thank you so much, when the Israeli occupation forces followed the PLO, which was the Hamas of its day, followed the PLO over the border into Lebanon and was massacring people by the thousands. And Ronald Reagan picked up the phone and he called Menachem Begin, the president at that time, and he said, this is over. This is not okay. You cannot do it. In fact, he called it a Holocaust. He said, it's time to end this Holocaust. And within 24 hours, that Holocaust was over. And the troops were brought home, and the missile strikes and the bombing was ended. And I'm not talking personal politics here, but if a peace candidate was to win the election on Tuesday, that peace candidate would pick up the phone on Tuesday as soon as the election was over and tell Bibi Netanyahu that his war is over and done with, and of course he will say, no, it's not, to which that peace candidate would say, well, your weapons, your military support, your diplomatic cover, and your intelligence is over. And then, of course, the genocide would be over, because Israel actually cannot last, even for a matter of hours, without the constant partnership of the United States in this genocide. And it is outrageous that this hasn't already happened, that this didn't happen 1 year ago, because the president had the power at that time to do this. And while Kamala Harris says that she cares so much and she's working tirelessly night and day, we know that's not true. We know that is a lie. And how do we know? Because when Israel expanded the war into the West Bank and into Lebanon, what was the response of the administration? Not only was it to say nothing about this absolute, the expansion of this moral outrage, the White House actually had the nerve to then reward Israel with another $8 billion worth of weapons to reward Israel for expanding its war. So this is absolutely outrageous. And it could be shut down, and it should and would be shut down. Let me tell you one other thing that a peace candidate could do if the peace candidate was in the White House. Especially if the peace candidate was going to change the White House into a greenhouse and make the world a better place. Another thing that I can tell you, I'm sure, would happen on day one is that the Department of Justice would be instructed to take AIPAC to court for violating the Foreign Agent Registration Act. And the punishment for that, the last I heard, this is what the Uhuru 3, can we hear it for the Uhuru 3, the African Socialist People's Party, who they were accused of violating FARA, the Foreign Agent Registration Act. They were accused simply for conducting a reparations educational campaign to which some minimal contribution was made, just minimal to help cover some costs was made by Russia. So on that account, the African People's Socialist Party, the Uhuru. 3 were accused of being foreign agents, unregistered foreign agents for Russia, even though this was their deeply held convictions, which they had been advocating for 80 years in the case of Omali Yashatila. And can we hear it for Omali? An amazing, powerful voice. So, the FBI pulled out all the stops to intimidate them for supposedly having violated the Foreign Agent Registration Act, had, sirens blaring, a full SWAT team, with, in full uniform, with tasers, with drones, with armored vehicles, closing off the street as if they had just discovered some terrorist cell. Just incredible. That was the treatment they got. Well, fortunately, they've beaten back some of their charges, but not all of them. But I happen to know from that case they were facing 15 years in jail for violating FARA. So, I'm pretty sure that's the standard. That's the standard routine. So that's what they got simply for educating people about reparations. So how about, when you're spending $100 million in order to defeat anti-genocide candidates in this election, doesn't that amount to a more serious offense than simply educating people about reparations? So, at any rate, that would put an end to AIPAC as we know it. That would be the end of this election interference on behalf of a foreign country, which interferes in plenty of other ways. There was a terrific study that was released, an investigative report from Li Fang. Does that name ring a bell? A fabulous investigative reporter who used to work for The Intercept. Now he has his own Substack. Definitely recommend you're checking it out. But he did an investigative report about how is it that suddenly, over the summer, all these colleges, out of nowhere, they all came up with very similar draconian rules to clamp down on free speech and the right to protest on our campuses. What was going on? Were they all drinking the same Kool-Aid or something, that they all came up with the same set of constitutional violations to shut down speech and protest against a genocide that the American people object to? So what he found basically was that there was lots of money, I think it was on the order of tens of millions, coming from none other than the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, that was filtering through nonprofit organizations that were then creating these rules changes. So there's another mode of interference. But at any rate, if there was a green occupant of the White House, you can be sure that the Department of Justice would be looking into all of these violations of our laws and of our basic civil liberties and our civil rights. We need to restore our right to protest. We need to restore our right to free speech. We need to restore freedom of the press so we don't see, reporters being arrested and interrogated and dragged off of airplanes and really just, treated miserably in this country where we supposedly, are the model of democracy. Well, hardly. So we can do much better on that account. Another thing that a green president, or shall we say a peace president, because we're going to be nonpartisan here, a peace president would do on day one is free the political prisoners. Mumia Abu Jamal, Leonard Peltier, Ashada Shakur. Reparations for Julian Assange and the years that he spent in jail. In fact, if I were in the White House, I would bring Julian Assange into our cabinet to help stand up for freedom of the press. And all those political prisoners sitting in jail under drug charges right now for mere possession or use or cultivation of marijuana, they too would be out of jail and would have amnesty and support for reintegration back into society. Also on day one, here's another thing a peace president could do, which would be to put an end to this war on drugs and begin treating substance use as a public health issue, not as a criminal issue, and stop conducting war on black and brown communities and tearing families apart and destroying communities. We would also, or shall we say, a peace president would also establish a department of returning citizens, people who are coming out of the criminal injustice system, to ensure that they have the support, the education, the housing, and the jobs that they need to get their lives back on track. Another thing on day one, of course, would be to propose a Medicare for all healthcare system. Because it not only improves our health, and right now, as you probably know, our health is like at the bottom of the barrel among developed nations. We have the worst health statistics. We also have incredible racial disparities, as Martin Luther King said, of all forms of injustice. Health injustice is the most cruel of all. And we see, for example, death rates from asthma among children of color is about 500% more than in the Caucasian community. Now with the abortion crisis, the crisis of abortion care, we're seeing death rates, maternal death rates during pregnancy skyrocketing, especially among African American women. Cancer rates are higher in African Americans. And if you look at longevity, how long is your lifespan? Just for being born black, you have 3 years cut off of your lifespan. And if in addition you are born in a low-income community, add another 7 years on top of those 3, so that it's basically a decade. It's just unbelievable. It's staggering. And while we're talking about disparities, economic disparities, have not improved. Since the 1960s, when supposedly the civil rights movement and all those great things that the Democrats were doing for black people, well, what's actually been the outcome of that? Just about nothing, really nothing. I mean, in so many ways, our lives just get, poverty rates just tripled among, well, that's among all kids, but, in particular, I don't know the breakdown there, but you can be sure it's much worse among African American children. Poverty rates have tripled, while millionaires, I should say billionaires, actually doubled their wealth here in the last several years. So at any rate, we can do a better job on all these counts, and on the issue of health care, we would, or a peace president would be proposing a Medicare for all system that not only covers everyone comprehensively. So you take Medicare, where everybody's covered, but you extend the Medicare from the moment of conception until the grave. So everyone is covered, and you're covered comprehensively. So like those eyeglasses, or your hearing aid, your mental health, your dental care, your reproductive health, it's all covered completely. And all those restrictions about who's your doctor and what facilities you can use, all these things, they're called narrow networks. They're basically little tricks performed by the insurance industry to basically cut you off and not provide the insurance that you've been paying to the teeth for. All of that goes away. So you have autonomy. You choose your doctor, you choose your healthcare facility and your hospital, and it's all covered. And you know what? Even after everybody's covered comprehensively, the other big thing, of course, is chronic care. So if you have a disabled child who needs institutional support, well, you get that at home. You don't have to put your kid in institutional care. Chronic care is covered and home care is covered. So that's like your parents. If your parents are declining, it's a really horrible time to put people in strange institutional environments. And you also have to spend yourself into poverty if you want to have support in chronic care. So Medicare for All actually does all of that. We deserve this. Our sick parents deserve this. Our families deserve this. And the well-kept secret is this doesn't cost us anything. This saves us $500 billion every year, if you can imagine. Because right now, 1 out of every 3 healthcare dollars is not spent on healthcare. It's spent on paper pushing, on tracking minutia, like if you go into the hospital and you have a Band-Aid put on. Well, does your insurance company cover Band-Aids? And what kind of Band-Aids do they cover? And what portion of the care are they going to pay for? You know, I don't know in particular about Band-Aids, but this is just to make the point. There's a mountain of minutia. Hospitals add whole floors. Sometimes the insurance wing is as big as the healthcare delivery wing. It's 1 out of every 3 healthcare dollars, and it doesn't make you healthier in the least. It actually cuts you out of healthcare a lot. And so right now it's $4.5 trillion every year. So, and 30% of that is waste. Under Medicare, it's about 3%, which is overhead. So there's a huge savings. That huge savings then is used to expand healthcare, which we desperately need. There are, you know, like 70,000 deaths in this country every year just from lack of access to health insurance. So we actually save $500 billion. $500 billion that we can spend on other things, like our housing. And let's talk about housing for a minute, because like, who's not in a housing crisis right now? You know, it's like almost no one is not in a housing crisis. At least 50% of people who rent, and actually people who pay mortgages as well, they're usually in crisis too right now. But just to focus on renters for the moment, it's 50% of renters who are paying 30 to 50% of their monthly income. So that's like, that doesn't leave very much to pay your health insurance and your car insurance and put food on the table and buy supplies for your kids to go to school and all that. So people are really stressed paying that amount of money just for their housing. Yet, the private equity firms have been allowed to buy up both family housing, permanent housing, and rental housing, take it off the market, hoard it, and sit on it in order to drive the price up. So a peace president would put an end to that and would propose that. I don't think the president alone can pass that as legislation, but there's a lot the president can do to provide democracy power, and I'll come back to that in just a moment. First, on the issue, so that the right of private equity to buy up your housing, that has to be brought to an end. And in fact, with a vacancy tax, which can be sky high, anybody hoarding housing will then be forced to put that housing back onto the market. That has to happen also. Another immediate step is to create a rent control program, which is federal and across the country, to stop this skyrocketing rent right now and the displacement of neighborhoods and gentrification. We also need a tenant bill of rights so that tenants cannot be basically kicked out just because the landlord wants to raise the rent and wants to remodel and gentrify. So one other thing to mention, and that is that we need quality, affordable housing as a public good. We used to call that public housing, but in the day of Bill Clinton, remember him, that great progressive icon, you know, who brought us lots of great things like NAFTA and what else? You know, the crime bill, I think, as well. You know, all these, and the war on drugs, he expanded that. So, you know, all these great things that Democrats have brought us, so don't listen to them when they tell you that they are God's gift to, you know, to the progressive world. So, where was that thought going? Let me think. Yes, so public housing, yes. So, which was ended by Bill Clinton, and he basically assigned this legislation that made it illegal for the public, Congress, to spend money on public housing. We used to have public housing, and it used to be quality public housing. There was a time when there was quality public housing. And so not only could you not build any more public housing, but you could not maintain public housing either. And so it's all gone downhill. Public housing is in real trouble right now, and it doesn't provide for people who really need it. What Europe does, they call it social housing, and it's mixed income, and it's really, it's quality housing, it creates quality communities. I mean, a peace president would ensure that there's quality public housing here for the long haul, and you don't lose it just because you gain a job. So it's permanent housing, and it's mixed income, so it's not like a ghetto for poor people. It's mixed housing, and it's environmentally sound, so that it's not, it's not consuming huge amounts of energy, and it's built along with public transportation. So you don't need a car, and you don't have to worry about worsening traffic and all the problems that come with sprawl. So there's a way to do this, and here's how we do it. On day one, a peace president could declare the climate emergency, and we have a climate emergency. We'll come back to that one too. By declaring the climate emergency, that unleashes over $500 billion in funding to basically create the Green New Deal. Housing, which is needed to reduce the carbon footprint of housing, we need it to be quality green housing that is environmentally sound and is powered by renewable energy and is energy tight and all that. We can greatly reduce the carbon footprint through green housing. So this is just another way that a president, if a president wanted to, could do the right thing and could solve in one fell swoop not only the climate crisis, at least push back on the, on this expanding rather massively accelerating climate crisis. There's so much we could do to reduce that at the same time that we are addressing the housing crisis by building 15 million units of quality, affordable housing through the public sector. Part of the Green New Deal, is also, it's greening our energy footprint, it's creating public transportation, which is renewably powered. That's the only way we're really gonna solve the climate crisis. We're not gonna do it through electric vehicles. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to Elon Musk that electric vehicles alone are not going to solve the climate crisis. We really need to prioritize public transportation, which is efficient, and is really the only way we can do this. It doesn't require the same burden of energy or rare metals and, all kinds of things like that that are problems if you're trying to just ramp up unlimited amounts of renewable energy. We have to use conservation and efficiency and all that. So transportation is a part of this. Sustainable agriculture, taking our farms back from corporations, supporting black farmers, for example, who've had their land stolen from them, supporting community farms, community-based agriculture, as well as, backyard farms. How did we get through the Second World War? Actually, we got half of our fruits and vegetables during the Second World War from victory gardens. We need to bring those back because, as you may know, the Colorado River, which feeds the California agriculture system, that's going down soon. And it may be a year, maybe 2 years, but it is happening soon. That influx of irrigation water, it's not going to be there forever. So we need a much more sustainable agriculture system. That's part of the Green New Deal too. So with over $500 billion every year, we can provide the funding that we need. And the other way we can provide that funding, obviously, is by cutting the friggin' military budget. People may know that that is consuming right now over half of our congressional discretionary budget. The money that Congress gets to appropriate, more than half of it is going to the endless war machine. And what good is that endless war machine doing? It's just wreaking havoc around the planet, creating failed states and mass refugee migrations and continuing so-called terrorist threats, things are not getting better with that endless war machine. Things are getting incredibly dangerous, and what's happening in the Middle East, what's happening with Israel's war on Gaza, is really, it's kind of a symbol, it's kind of like the tip of the iceberg. But we also have, a very dangerous conflict in Ukraine with Russia, which has really been ginned up by the US and by NATO, having expanded to the east. Basically, what's going on at the border of Russia is, it's like the Cuban Missile Crisis, but in reverse. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, we did not like having nuclear missiles on our border. We had launched our nuclear weapons, which were in the air in the bombers. We were that worried about it, we were ready to go to nuclear war right then and there. Fortunately, JFK and Khrushchev had the good sense to negotiate, and unfortunately, the US has refused to negotiate and has basically been breaking up the negotiations, which would have prevented this war in Ukraine and would have settled it within 2 months of it having started. There actually was a peace deal between Zelensky and Putin. They had agreed under the auspices of Turkey to a peace deal. So that war was about to be ended when the US and the UK came in and basically broke up the peace deal. Now, what is it, 2 years later? They've pretty much wound up in the same position again now, where the US is finally recognizing that this is not a war that can be won any more than the US. We were not going to tolerate Russian missiles on our border. Russia is not going to tolerate US nuclear missiles on its border. And right now, those missiles are not nuclear, they are nuclear compatible. And it turns out all you have to do is swap out the warheads, and you can do that overnight. It's really simple to do. So even while they are not yet nuclear missiles, they're as good as nuclear missiles. So we wouldn't tolerate it. Russia won't tolerate it. All Russia really wanted was neutrality. Ukraine needed to be neutral. And that, that was like not a big deal. That should not have been a problem in the least. So this was an avoidable war. It's absolutely tragic. People of Ukraine are paying in blood. And it's winding up exactly where the, where the specialists on Eastern Europe politics and all that knew it would. This war would not succeed. Even Barack Obama knew that, which is why he did not want to be arming Ukraine and using Ukraine as a proxy to basically drain the resources of Russia. And if you don't believe me on that, let me just cite the Pentagon, because the Pentagon, and also, the defense secretary, who said that, he said in plain, simple terms, the purpose of this war was to bleed down Russian resources. But the Pentagon itself gave a name to its foreign policy. It's called full spectrum dominance. What that means is that the empire dominates. It dominates all potential spheres of competition, whether they are economic or military or resources, whatever. The US will not tolerate competitors, not even regional powers. So, that kind of lays out in very clear terms what our foreign policy is about. It's about dominating and not tolerating competitors, and Russia, has been one of those competitors. So at any rate, we don't need these friggin' wars. We don't need to be spending half of our congressional dollars. In fact, it's way more than half if you add in all the ancillary expenditures, Customs and Border Protections, the FBI, the CIA, the Veterans Administration, all that. It gets to be way more than 50%. It's like 60, 65% of our tax dollars. According to Jeffrey Sachs, the average household last year, get this, paid $12,000, the average household. That's what you're paying for this endless war machine. You're also paying by not having the health care that we need and the housing that we need. This is why the Democratic Party cannot tolerate competitors in this election. This is why they hired an army of lawyers at the beginning of the election in order to throw competitors off the ballot, because to let the truth out is extremely problematic for the Democrats. So the bottom line is we can do this, we can cut the military budget, we can have the dollars that we need to have health care, to have housing, to bail out the students. Let's end student debt. We bailed out the crooks on Wall Street. We can bail out the students. We can have health care as a human right for everyone. We can free the political prisoners. We can have a reparations program to pay the debt owed to the descendants of slavery who built this country with their blood, sweat, tears, with their lives. We can ensure land back. We can ensure indigenous sovereignty, because who manages our open space better than the indigenous people to whom that land actually belongs? We need to respect the treaties and ensure that indigenous nations are recognized and that they have the rights that are built into their treaties. So we can do this right, and part of that is, well, that amounts to ending the empire, because when we cut the military budget in half, and when we change our foreign policy from this endless wars for full spectrum dominance, we can change it to a policy based on human rights, international law, and diplomacy, not on endless war and genocide. So don't believe them when they tell you that you have to vote to keep them in power. When the predators, when the economic and political elites tell you that you have to keep voting for the parties and the candidates who are throwing you under the bus, just tune them out. Forget that. This is just self-serving propaganda. And when they say that, oh, you can't vote for a third party or an independent candidate, you can't vote for them because you would be giving the election to Trump. Well, you know what? Most of the votes from the Muslim community, from the Arab American community, from the people who object to genocide, those votes were already lost by Kamala Harris. A peace candidate is not taking them away. In fact, recent polls show that a peace candidate takes votes away from Donald Trump, because those votes were already lost from the Democrats. And the question is, are those people now who reject genocide, are they going to vote for Donald Trump? And many of them are, if they don't know that there's an alternative. Or are they going to vote for an anti-genocide candidate? And every vote that's cast for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris is an endorsement of genocide, it's an affirmation, and it enables genocide. If you don't want genocide, don't vote for genocide, period. Every vote for a peace candidate is a shot across the bow of the empire, telling the empire, we are here, we're getting organized, and furthermore, we are the majority. We are 68% of America that wants an end and a ceasefire and a diplomatic solution right now, and then add to that another 60%, over 60% of Americans want an immediate weapons embargo to the Zionist state of Israel. And I'm going to close with one last thing here, which is that growing up as a Jew after the Second World War, where our community was saying, is there life after genocide? How do you restore our faith in the world after your community has had a genocide? And there are, the Jews are not the only one, as people know in this audience. African American genocide, indigenous genocide, the DRC genocide. I mean, there are lots of genocides. But after a genocide, your community is going to say, how do we restore our belief in humanity again? And in our community, the answer to that question was that we will not allow genocide to happen again, not to anyone, not to anyone. And we held people accountable for that genocide, not just the people who pulled the triggers or who opened the gas chamber valves. We held people accountable who looked the other way and who were bystanders to genocide. So that said to me, we all got to do this. We all got to do everything we can. We are all in this together. As Gaza goes, we all go. We can put an end to this torture and murder of children on an industrial scale, because if it's okay in Gaza, it's okay anywhere. So by stopping it in Gaza, we free ourselves from the chains of this imperial empire whose days are really over. It's time for us to stand up and demand an America and a world that we deserve, a world that works for all of us. We can do this together. Don't let them talk you into genocide. And no, however far the anti-genocide forces get in this election, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a coalition and a solidarity when an African-American Muslim professor and a Jewish American doctor, white woman, are running together. This is what we need. This is what we need. And this says to the world, we can do this. This is not a religious conflict. This is about our human values and taking back the promise of democracy that we deserve, and we deserve it right now. So thank you all so very much for being here. Big thank you to Butch Ware. I do, yes. Yes. Okay, that's great. Okay, all right, great. Peace and freedom. Yes, peace and freedom. Peace and freedom for us all. So I think we have time for just a couple questions.
Couple questions, yeah. Can we get the house lights up? And stay standing and clap for Jill one more time. Come on. So, Dr. Jill does have another commit. Oh, this is her stuff. I'm gonna sit over here. Okay. Have another commitment, but we wanted, while we had the time, to share space. So we're gonna take a couple of questions, and we'll take them 3 at a time. Do you want your notes? Yeah. I cannot field questions without writing them down. Perfect. And do we have a couple roaming mics? Okay, excellent. So can we get the house lights up? We got to wake up, and people need to see each other, be in communion and conversation inside the room. Look around and just quick round of applause for everybody who's here. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Dennis, and thank you so much for what you're doing. I so appreciate it. I wanted you to comment on the recklessness, for example, of Ukraine knocking out the early warning system that Russia has that tells them part of it, not the whole thing, fortunately, but part of it, that tells Russia if they're under nuclear attack. I can't see how Ukraine did that on their own. And things like that. Biden wanted to let Ukraine shoot missiles way deep into Russia. That's an act of war. Fortunately, he was talked out of it by the Pentagon, is my understanding. But I wanted you to comment on that kind of recklessness.
Excellent. And we're going to take questions in groups of 3. So if we can get the next question. Don't be shy. Okay, I see there's some hands over here. Do we have another mic on that side, or do you have to sprint all the way around?
I'm just going to slide through.
Okay, perfect. Give it up for Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. And now, light on her feet right there, sliding between them. I was going to say pews. Are we in church? Okay, no. Chairs. Okay, yeah, okay.
Peace, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Jill and Butch, for answering these questions and for your campaign. I had a question. Often we hear politicians speak about what they're going to do, what they want to do for the people, and they have a lot of great words and very excellent points to make. My question is, a lot of times once people are in office, things change. People can receive threats or money and all these different aspects. And so my question for you would be, how do we know that you will carry forward this very potent mission, a mission in which many people have been sent to prison for as political prisoners, people fighting in Black Liberation Movement, American Indian Movement. So how are you going to represent those struggles once you're in office?
Outstanding question. Thank you for that one also. And we'll take the last one. Actually, we'll do 4. I don't usually do that, but since the next one is right here, let's do 4.
Hello, I'm Luke. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you Jill and Dr. Ware for doing everything that you guys do. Growing up as a Mexican American, I just wanted to know what your guys' game plan is on the southern border and everything, because we have everyone saying illegal's this, illegal's that, even though it's originally their land. I just want to know what your guys' stance and opinion is on all that.
Great.
Absolutely, yeah, thank you. And then we'll take one more.
Hi, Dr. Stein. My name is Lena Ayvazian. I am a Lebanese Armenian. I watched in suffering of the Nagorno-Karabakh that took place for 10 months, ended on September 30th, 2023. 7 days later, the Palestinian obviously took place. Where do you feel that the current administration has an end game for what is taking place? What is their perspective of what the end game is of this? Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful questions, great. And let me invite you to jump in at any point as well.
Thank you.
So first question, I think from Dan, about Ukraine knocking out the early warning system for incoming nuclear missiles. Yeah, I mean, the U.S. is playing with fire here. The U.S. has dismantled nuclear treaties as well. You know, just about all of them were taken down by the U.S., starting with the anti-ballistic missile treaty, which was basically undone by George Bush. And then more recently, the so-called Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty, the INF, which basically puts a limit on near-range missiles. And like having near-range missiles is so dangerous because it really incentivizes a quick response. If missiles are coming in quickly, or if you don't have adequate warning, it creates an incentive for an early strike back. It creates a lot of uncertainty, and the human response to that is to try to defend your territory. So it puts everybody into this kind of trigger finger mode. It's very dangerous. It's really nuts. So what a crazy thing to be doing. And likewise, I think Biden finally did approve long-range missiles, because they are being used, that are going into Russia. And it's been back and forth a little bit, but I think the last I heard was that it was given approval. And this is part of a kind of a steady drumbeat of an escalatory conflict, which is so scary. The U.S., is bringing back nuclear missiles, now nuclear warheads into Germany, which they haven't had in decades. In so many ways, they are playing with absolute fire. And this is another thing that, another reason why we must remove from power these reckless criminal misleaders who are going to get us all killed. They don't seem to understand the danger of nuclear weapons, and they're all very into their bravado and, and how brave they are about daring, this kind of one-upsmanship that's going on. It's really crazy. It's really dangerous. One nuclear armed submarine contains the equivalent of 5,000 Hiroshima bombs. Hiroshima bombs are now considered tactical nuclear weapons. And our leaders talk about them like, oh, that's acceptable, it's just going to be an exchange of tactical nukes. Well, tactical nukes are absolutely devastating. They can kill hundreds of thousands of people, and it doesn't take very many of them to add up to nuclear winter. And if anybody's not familiar with that term, it means that when you see that mushroom cloud, you can think of that mushroom cloud like it's a conveyor belt, and it's bringing debris into the upper atmosphere up to a level where it doesn't weather down. It doesn't come down with the wind and the rain or the snow. It stays up there for decades, and it dims sunlight. And once you've exchanged around 80, 100 so-called tactical nukes, you're into very serious nuclear winter territory, then this could spell the end of us all. And our leaders who keep saying, well, don't worry, it's just a tactical nuclear exchange, they are like clueless that it doesn't matter that it's over there. They say, don't worry about it. It's going to take place in Eastern Europe. Doesn't affect us. Not true at all. Nuclear war anywhere is nuclear war everywhere because the atmosphere redistributes everything. The radiation is more local, and obviously the blast, that's local, but nuclear winter is everywhere. So this is dangerous, and they need to, we need to retire them. We need to send them, running as quickly as possible before they get us all killed. And we should all be supporting, and our leadership for the U.S. and the other countries that have not yet signed on. The vast majority of the world's nations have now signed on to the nuclear weapons ban. There is an official ban, which is the law of the land now. There is a ban treaty which is in effect, and the countries that own the nuclear weapons won't sign it. They won't join the ban, but they need to. And we the people have really pushed many of the nuclear treaties in the past, and if it were something that people talked about, but Democrats and Republicans are taking money from the weapons industry, and that includes the nuclear weapons industry, so they won't talk about it. People don't get educated about it. So another thing that a peace president would do would be to bring back, well, not only nuclear weapons treaties, but also congressional hearings and town hall meetings, so that the truth can actually get out. Oh, and would also take the consolidated corporate media to court for violating antitrust laws, so that we can actually have a real journalism again, and the press that acts like a watchdog, not a lapdog.
Jill spitting bars. That watchdog, not a lapdog. The whole campaign. I've been feeling that one. Yes.
Right. I want to hear a rap tune about that.
I'm gonna work on one.
Yeah, okay, please. Political promises. So I would say, we don't take money to bribe us out of those promises. And that's what, all the other political parties do. They are basically paid, they are bought and paid for, and policies are bought and paid for. But it is against our rules and against our values to basically participate in that corruption. So we don't take big money, we follow the strict campaign finance laws. We don't have the fancy lawyers to create the special loopholes that let money buy you out. And I'll also add, for us, the question is, are you guys going to stick with us? Because when we get into office, we can't stay there without your help. We'll be gone overnight. So that's the big view from our perspective. It's like we don't have anybody else except for everyday people. That's who we are and who we stand for.
Can I add to this one
Please.
too? With this specific question, I'm a person of faith. The faith that I chose, for myself at age 15 is the faith of Islam. And when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, entered into his mission, and everybody, thinks of it just as a religious mission, but the reality is it was a threat to the vested material interests of the society that he lived in, because it was a wealth redistribution project that was very, very threatening to the elite of that time. So they tried to buy him off with titles and wealth, and he said in response, if you were to put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I would not desist in this mission. And I promise you, if you put the sun in my right hand or the moon in my left, I would not desist in this mission. And the reason why I chose to stand with Dr. Jill is because of decades of integrity. And I know that this group right here ain't selling out for nobody, period, ever.
And I would just add that it's not like we are untested, I mean, it's like we're put through the ringer, like all of us are, and they spy on us. They try to criminalize us. I was investigated for 3 years by the Senate Intelligence Committee that was trying to prove that I was a Russian asset. They couldn't find anything to that effect. But, I mean, we all pay to live according to our values, So I would just say that we all share a lot of conviction here. And, we stick with it because we know that it's not just our values, but there is no alternative, to putting the world back on track, because right now it's going over the cliff in just about every direction. Let's see. So Luke's question about our policy on the border, and I'd say, immigration in general. So to summarize, our position is that the most important thing we can do to fix the immigration crisis is to stop causing it in the first place. Through regime change operations, through economic colonialism. Like Haiti, we overthrew Aristide twice so that the Hillary Clinton Department of State could go in and reverse the minimum wage law and drive the wages down from 60 cents an hour to 30 cents an hour. This is like the rule rather than the exception for how U.S. foreign policy works. So, people are fleeing here because of the poverty and the war and the violence and the war on drugs and the violent cartels that we empower through our war on drugs, and the climate crisis that we are the main drivers of and which Democrats are not fixing, even though they say they are. The Inflation Reduction Act is actually a fossil fuels first bill. It does have some good things, but it's largely window dressing to the crisis that the Inflation Reduction Act continues, mandating 60 million acres offshore and 2 million acres onshore be auctioned off every year for fossil fuel extraction. This is a little known fact about the Inflation Reduction Act. So it actually massively drives up the production of fossil fuels. Yeah, I mean, there too, there's so much more we could be doing to fix the climate crisis, which is causing migration. The UN predicts it'll be something like 1 billion climate migrants per year by 2050. And the climate crisis is massively accelerating. And that is happening very much under Democrats. In fact, we hear about how it's, Donald Trump all the time, but it's actually under Democrats that we see the most massive increases in fossil fuel extraction. That was true for Biden over Trump, and it was true for Biden over Trump and for Obama over Bush. Yeah. In the same way that it was the Democrats who are the deportation, chiefs. They are pushing the most deportations, although it's Donald Trump who uses the scariest language, but the deportations are actually performed, worse under Republicans than Democrats. So, we will defuse the migration crisis by ending the drivers of it, and then we will treat people with dignity and respect who are coming here to flee conditions that we have been instrumental in causing. And instead of building a wall, which kills people, kills wildlife, destroys ecosystems, instead of spending billions on the wall, also, provides, subsidies to Israeli intelligence operations whose security equipment is lining the border. Instead of spending money those ways, we will be putting our dollars into the civil infrastructure so that background checks can be done at the border and people can get their papers and come and go to work. It is not true. In fact, it's exactly the opposite of this language that the Democrats and the Republicans use. These are a pack of lies. Drugs are not brought in by migrants. They are brought in by red-blooded Americans. Drugs are not coming through the remote areas of the border. They're coming through the major portals of entry. And migrants make our communities safer, not more dangerous. The rates of crime and violent crime among immigrants are actually much lower than the American population.
So I see Jason giving the desperate hand signals. I will stay and take questions and say just a closing word, but this gives me a great opportunity to stand and give you a round of applause, Dr. Jill.
Thank you so much.
Because Jill has another commitment, so we're gonna let... I'm going to take the question on migration as an opportunity to bring the gathering to a close, and I'm going to put someone that I care very deeply about on the spot. I'll say that Dr. Jill's answer to this question about migration, when I asked it in our IG Live before I joined the campaign, was one of the most persuasive things for me in joining the campaign. So as Dr. Jill leaves, I'm going to say, just kind of 3 things that she said that persuaded me to shove all my chips into the middle of the table and to do this. And the last one is going to really, really annoy my wife who's here. So the first is I asked her about reparations, and she said they behave as though it's incalculable, but it's been calculated many times. It's between $10 and $13 trillion that U.S. owes to Black Americans, and I'm in favor of cash payments. And I was like, you had me at hello. I've been talking about reparations since I was a teenager. Then I said, I'm not going to ask you a question about Palestine because I've vetted you with all of my people in the Free Palestine community, first and foremost those in Gaza, then those in broader historic Palestine, then my Palestinian American colleagues, then people that have been in the Free Palestine movement, and they all said Dr. Jill is legit. So I said, I'm not going to ask you about Palestine. I'm going to ask you about your overall vision for American foreign policy. And Dr. Jill said, my goal for American foreign policy is to dismantle the American empire. I said, yeah, you better hurry up and do it quick before somebody do it for you. If you take that $1.3 trillion and put it into housing and put it into healthcare and put it into social programs, then we could actually have a country that works for people. But if you let somebody else dismantle your empire because you refuse to do it, it is going to be stripped from you piece by piece. And the society will devolve into chaos and fascism. And we're seeing exactly that. But to return to your question and to close on this, it was something that she said about migration. I said, so what do you make of this so-called migration crisis? And she said, well, we don't have a migration crisis. We have a racism crisis. And she said all the things she just said now. But then later in that interview, she said, and we have to treat the drug epidemic as a public health crisis. And she said, and if you do that, instead of an opportunity for the carceral state, you legalize these substances, and then you provide treatment. By legalizing the substances, you disempower cartels in Central America because they're no longer drug dealers. Brilliant. And I said, Dr. Jill, did you just give us a magic bullet that will keep my cousin, who spent 3.5 years in jail for possession, right? Not treating the drug epidemic as a problem to be treated with the carceral state. No 100-to-1 ratios on crack versus powder cocaine. But you also put my wife's family back together, because I'm proudly married to a Mexican-American woman who has taken a lot on her shoulders during this campaign. Clementina Aragon, please stand up. No, you're going to have to stand up. You're going to have to stand up. And my mother-in-law came to this country undocumented, and for 23 years she could not see her brother. splitting families up at the border just like they did to my ancestors, splitting families up, and for the same reason, so that you could have a cheap, easily controllable source of labor. They love this migration crisis because it allows desperate people to work for pennies on the dollar. And both teams love it. Team blue love it, team red love it. This fight that we are all in is a struggle that unites us all. It really is. The healing of Gaza is the healing of, my wife's family, is the healing of my family, is the healing for an anti-Zionist Jewish white woman. This is the future of humanity that we are discussing here. And the last thing that I'll say is that I want to thank you guys for coming to this gathering where we have reflected together on the end of empire and the future of freedom. I believe more firmly and strongly than ever that as all of our faiths and philosophies promise, all empires fall. I believe that that fall is near, and look forward to working with everybody in this room and everybody who's connected to everybody in this room to help usher in a new age of peace and prosperity for humanity. Thank you for attending.